Welcome to the Fight Night Daily Podcast from talkSPORT. I'm Adam Cattrall. Pleasure as always to be in your company. Spencer Oliver in the house, Gareth Day Davis, and the White Rhino, the one and only Mr. Dave Allen. It has just been the final press conference for Chris Eubank Jr., Conor Benn 2. And there's always a little bit of something to take out of a Chris Eubank Jr. press conference. What did you make of it all, Gareth?
Great presence having the fathers here. Put the context of the legacy fight, British sporting royalty, into full context. I was really impressed with the Conor Benn side tonight. The Eddie Hearn side, they gave nothing for the Eubanks to feed off. And I like their strategy. If they can carry that strategy into the fight, even though I back Eubank to win it again on points, he may have a chance of beating Eubank.
Do you think they can carry that strategy into the fight?
Listen, it's all about controlling the emotions. I think that's where Eubank won last time. You know, in the build-up to that fight, we saw that Conor Benn, Eubank knew the buttons to press with Conor Benn, and fights can be won and lost with emotions before the first bell rings. And I think that become evident in Conor Benn's performance. He was going out there, he was just winging away, and there was no real thought process behind what he was doing. So they took that away, they thought about it. Tony Sims obviously worked on a strategic plan this week to come up with saying absolutely nothing. Yeah. Eddie Hearn himself producing those balls and not speaking himself. They know, they're not giving Chris Eubank Jr. anything to feed off. So look, it's good. Can he control the emotions on the night is a different conversation. But so far, so good for the bench, sure.
Listen, these things are always good for the press, right? You've been here as a fighter. What are they like from that side, as a fighter being on that top table, doing these obligations throughout the course of the week?
Boring, really. Fights are won in the gym and then the ring. You know, a lot of it's in the gym, sadly. Well, then you have to do what you do in the gym, take it in the ring. That were entertaining, but so is Coronation Street. And Coronation Street's got no bearing on what happened Saturday night either, so that's all for show.
Yeah,
that I don't think that has any bearing at all.
Are they more of a hindrance for a fighter throughout the course of the week? You just want to get on with it?
We don't want to do that, and I don't make weight. If I'm making weight, the last thing I want to be doing today, before making weight tomorrow, or tonight, we're making weight tonight.
Yeah.
I don't want to be sat out there talking nonsense. And you can see the fighters weren't really in the mood, especially Eubank, because he's the one who's got to maybe struggle more at the weight.
Yeah. What have you made of the demeanours this week compared to the first fight? They felt like there's a little bit more in both of them, like Dave's alluding to the first time around. What have you made of them this week?
They clearly respect each other for the 12 rounds they've gone through. I still think Eubank feels in his mind he's the superior fighter with a better experience. He's the naturally bigger man. But all week, I'm sensing we might get something special from Conor Benn. I don't know why, because he's managed to do it. What I will ask Dave about is this. I know it's boring, you're making weight, all those things. This is a big show, it's very entertaining. It's great, they've nearly filled the stadium out now. If Conor Benn doesn't go hell for leather from the opening rounds, and something has come out of Chris Eubank in that last fight that he can't get back, that he's been to the cash register and that money isn't there. If Conor Benn fights a smart fight and comes on very hard, very late, has he got a chance of stopping Chris Eubank in this fight?
This is a middleweight against a welterweight. That's what we're watching. And if the middleweight's got enough left, he wins, in my opinion. Conor Benn needs Eubank to be finished. That's what the talk's all about, in my opinion. If Eubank is still got something left, he beats Conor Benn. He's too big for him, and he's too good as well. Conor Benn hasn't really got a world title winner welterweight of my middleweight, so it's all well and good being Conor Benn with all his game plans.
His best win is weather-worn Chris Algieri.
Yeah, maybe. Eubank's been at super middleweight and hung in there and beat some good fighters, so there's a massive gap. There's still a massive gap in quality for me. Yeah. And I think the Eubank from the first fight, he wasn't 100%. He underestimated Conor Benn. And he knows after the first fight, Conor Benn might not be a world-class boxer, might only be a welterweight, but he's fit, he's tough, and he's going to bring it. And I think Eubank knows that. We're going to see a totally different Eubank. I don't think he's finished. I don't think he's as good as he was, but I don't think he's finished. I think he'll be better than the first time.
What you're alluding to there, Spencer, you can elaborate on this, is do you believe in 6 months Conor Benn can completely change his style? Because we've never seen what Gareth's alluding to there of that change of style. We've not seen it in the previous God knows how many fights.
Absolutely not. Dave's nailed it straight away, right? You've got two guys that are two weight divisions apart here, going in the ring, and that's evident when you see them in there. You see the size difference. Forget what you see on the scales, because they will be weighing the same weight. When they get into the ring on fight night, you can see that they are weight divisions apart. What we got in the first fight was Chris Eubank Jr. at his worst because he missed the weight. And I know about making weight and how tight that is and how that affects your performance. And you will be off it by 20, possibly 30% because he missed that weight. Eubank still, he stayed disciplined and he was able to grind that out. We probably also witnessed Conor Benn at his very best. We've never seen him box. He excelled that night. Can he go up again? So the answer to the question here is, I think if Chris Eubank Jr. gets the weight right, because I think he will with Bomac and the rest of the team that he's got around him, and he also now knows what he's going into. He may have underestimated Conor Benn. Yeah. I think if Eubank Jr. gets the weight right, Dave's nailed it. This is weight divisions are there for a reason.
Yep,
if he gets the weight division right, I think he wins and wins clearer,
all saying
easier
that
than
Eubank wins it comfortably. I agree.
I think he wins inside the distance.
What I'm saying is, what are the opportunities for Conor Benn in this fight?
Well, do you know,
how does he get the job
Eubank's
done?
hold overnight.
That's it.
Right, and that's what Dave was saying 2 minutes ago. He hit Chris Eubank Jr. clean in that first fight. And as Spencer just said there, that was probably the best version of Conor that we've seen, but at 160. In the press conference, he's already talking about going back down to 147. He's already talking about going back down to 154. He's not in his head staying at 160. It's a very hard thing to travel for that power to travel up in those lower weight divisions, isn't it? He's already cracked him on the chin clean. He didn't put him over. It's a very big ask for him on Saturday night, isn't it?
The big difference in the first fight, basically, Eubank's the bigger man, but there's only one man with the jab. Eubank controlling with the jab most of it. Eubank is not only bigger, he's better. He's a much better boxer, more experienced. He has a jab. People keep saying to me, Conor Benn's a world-class welterweight. He hasn't got a jab. He's fit, he's strong, he's hard, he's non-stop. He hasn't got a jab. Can't be a world-class man, he hasn't got a jab. In 6 months' time, they've got to give him a jab. Got to take Eubank's jab away from him, more importantly. Yeah. You can't do that in 6 months. If Eubank's not finished, Eubank probably will stop him this time, because with Bomac, I don't believe in this super trainer nonsense. It's nonsense. There's no super trainers. You need good boxers. That's what a good trainer is. A good trainer is only a good trainer because the talent in the gym. But Bomac will have him ready to the minute. Yeah. He'll be on it. Bomac wouldn't work with him. There's a lot of trainers that will work with fighters if they're not 100%. Bomac won't. I know he won't. So Eubank, I think, will stop him. I've gone in early with prediction. I've gone in early. I've got carried away. He's going to stop him.
I'm with you, mate. I went early as well on that one. And you're right on what you say about Bomac. What Bomac does is he works them like a dog, right? And he comes up with a game plan. They're strategic. They'll come up with a good game plan. And you need that. So you need a second pair of eyes looking in when a fight is tough and all that, you know. But importantly, what he is he's very disciplined. And that's what Eubank needs, you know, where he's not going to miss a run in the morning. And he just gets through his own, you know, mental strength and his own self-discipline. Is more than that. He's going to be fight fit, fight ready, and that is going to make the difference.
Yeah,
we're all going Eubank then, yeah.
At this moment, I don't think there's anything to throw us off that scent right now. We'll find out a little bit more, obviously, on Saturday night whether Conor Benn can bring a different type of game plan to the fight. Regarding the undercard, just a quick one. Before we talk about some of the things that are going on in the world of boxing, we saw Kurt Scobie having a little bit of a go with Adam Azim. There was a little bit of chat there. I actually like Tommy Welsh as well, coming out of his shell a little bit and going for Richie Riakporhe to try and create a little bit of something there on that undercard fight.
Yeah, Adam Azim's a big favourite, I think, even though Scooby is a fantastic character. We've been around him all week, Spencer and I, and he's there's an energy coming off him, in and out of foster homes, great personality, wants to prove something. Richie Riakporhe up at 17 stone now at heavyweight, should beat Tommy Welch. But again, father and son, Scott around all week. Can Tommy pull something brilliant out? I don't know. I do favour both Azim and Riakporhe as big favourites in those two.
Big night for Jack Catterall, by the way.
Massive night for Jack Catterall, you know, who's been there, seen it, done it. Do you know what I love about Jack as well is that this stage of his career shows the ambition and the hunger that he's still got to achieve great things and go on to greatness and become a world champion that he should have been. And we all know the story behind that. But, you know, him, you know, taking himself up and going out and training with Bozy Ennis. Yep. You look at that and you go, you know what, respect that. That shows the ambition and the hunger.
Son just having been born as well.
Yeah, absolutely. But he's in against the bogeyman, you know, Echo Esserman, who's now coming off a career best win over, you know, Josh Taylor. You go, people, it's easy to say after the event, oh, Josh Taylor was shot. You go, but Echo Esserman going into that fight, Dave will recognise this. You go, so much mental pressure going into that fight because he's fighting the guy, he's fighting the man, he's fighting the former undisputed world champion. All of that. It's easy to say, oh, he shot after. Echo doesn't know that on the ring walk, you know. And I think that the way that he overcome that will elevate him now to another level. That will take him to another level. So that is a really interesting fight. You know, it's a tough one to call. I think I lean towards Cattrall because he's tricky. He's tricky.
I've watched him spar.
Yeah.
I watched them spar at the gym at Jamie's. Sparring.
They will have a
They
little bit more
will get
insight
straight
than us.
at it because I've seen it. I'll tell you how I saw it. Cattrall played with him, but Esman isn't going to care what's coming back from Cattrall, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He moved him around. He tricked him. He befuddled him. Esman isn't going to care less what's coming back his way though. Esman's an animal. I've never seen nothing like it. He did 6 with Cattrall and then 6 with the boxer I train. I've never seen an engine like it. They don't call the engine for nothing.
Yeah.
I think it'll be fight of the night. He's going to drag Cattrall into a fight, and Cattrall can fight when he has to.
Yeah.
He's too good for his own good sometimes. That'll be fight of the night, in my opinion.
There you go. That's it. You're on the tips tonight, mate, aren't you? You're throwing them in. Here, listen, I want to get your thoughts on all this noise around Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul. Come on, pal. Get it off your chest. Let it all go.
Terrible. Jake Paul should box me. Not because I want to get rich, but if you want it, I'm here.
Will you do it for 2 million?
I'll do it for $2,000. I'm not clean out for $2,000 as well. But it's ridiculous. He's heavyweight champion of the world, Anthony Joshua, one of the biggest names ever in British boxing. He carried it on his back for 10 years.
Yeah.
If it weren't for Anthony Joshua, I wouldn't be here now. That's the truth. A legend of a man. Why is he fighting Jake Paul? That diminishes it a little for me. Fighting Jake Paul, that diminishes it a bit. I go, why are you doing that? Why you got all the money, everything? What are you going to fight Jake Paul for?
It's easy money.
But also, Dave,
It's easy money, isn't it?
we heard Eddie Hearn on talkSPORT today, and he talked about the roadmap for Anthony Joshua. Now, he was going to fight in December, end of November, beginning of December. He's going to fight a top 100 heavyweight.
Jake Paul's not top 100 though.
So what I'm saying is, he's going to get a load of backlash for that anyway. You go, so he's going to go through that same process fighting Jake Paul. He irons Jake Paul out, puts the end to that story.
And earns 50
and
million.
earns 50 million quid for it. Then he goes and fights again in February. Then fights Tyson Fury. If Turkey Al-Sheikh can back it up and say what he wants to do, because that's the roadmap.
Jake Paul's a cruiserweight, lost to Tommy Fury.
Yeah.
How can he fight Anthony Joshua? It's unsafe for one. I'd like to watch Jake Paul get knocked out.
You're saying
But
it shouldn't be licensed, yeah?
Shouldn't, not at all. But I'm saying I'd like to see Jake Paul get a few clips.
But
Not a big one. I want to see him.
Just a lesson.
But not by one of the best heavyweights of the last 20 years. Let cruiserweight do it.
in the round.
Joshua's
2 rounds. I don't throw a punch for 1 round. In the second, I get him.
Joshua's shoes, and you're offered 50 million quid to fight Jake Paul, and you've got your roadmap mapped out over the next 12 months. You know where you're going.
Yes.
Turkey's already said that. You're going to go.
Of course, but that's not what Dave's saying. Fighters are going to fight. Listen, that's what Dave's saying. Fighters are going to fight. Promoters are going to promote. They're all going to try and make the door, and nobody's going to begrudge that. It's a dangerous sport. You should be making your money. But commissions and sanctioning bodies should be upholding the due care of the sport.
You're not even a heavyweight, though. You're not even a heavyweight.
Mate,
Who does commission it?
Well,
Someone will, because the money's involved.
Exhibition.
All the noises.
Can't be an exhibition.
All the noises in the sounds. 24 hours ago, it was broken by Mike Coppinger on the Ring Twitter account, X account. We've all been around it for the last 24 hours. A lot of people have spoken about it publicly. A lot of phone calls are going on behind the scenes. At the moment, it looks like it's going to happen in the 3rd week in December. But the big thing about it, and my criticism of it was, probably shouldn't be licensed, but Florida are very kind of easy commission to get. Yeah, it'll be called an exhibition.
It will be an exhibition.
It probably will be
What's the
called
point
an
then?
exhibition.
What's the point?
For me, as long as that fight you mentioned just now, Spencer, as long as that roadmap is there and it's signed, that he fights an interim guy as a warm-up afterwards and fights Tyson Fury next year and Fury's on board, I'm great with it. Otherwise, I do think his legacy's damaged if his last fight is with Jake Paul.
An exhibition is just a waste of time. They're for retired fighters. For retired fighters, it's a load of rubbish.
Yeah, listen, the guy's still in his athletic prime. I personally don't see the reason why they can't just do the Tyson Fury fight. Why do we need interims?
Well, we all want that.
Yeah, but why do we need interims? Why do we need warm-ups? We're talking about 2 experienced guys who've been the best, as you just said, of the last 10, 20 years. Let's get the fight on.
It's as ridiculous as Gervonta Davis going in with him, basically, isn't it, with Jake Paul,
Quite
frankly.
those different mindsets, and what, again, listening to Eddie today and what he was saying, the damage that Anthony Joshua has suffered mentally, not physically, because physically he's still all there, but mentally against Daniel Dubois, he needs to go through that process again. And they said, and that's just the whole getting your hands wrapped up, doing it, whether it's Jake Paul, whether it's a top 100 fighter, you go, that's the way Anthony Joshua ticks. He needs that before going into the... All roads lead to Fury, right? We all know that. Whether Fury...
Well,
comes out
hopefully.
of- yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. But that's that's their game.
It is the plan.
Yeah.
And as I say, hopefully by the middle of next week, all the big players are in town.
Yeah.
All the influencers are here. Hopefully by the Tuesday, Wednesday next
Dave
week.
Allen's been given the call and he's off. to
And
go
Dave,
for the gym.
Dave Allen's on the Jake Paul.
I won't do it in an
Back
exhibition. I won't do it in an exhibition though.
No, all in.
I want to knock him clean out.
All in.
I'm not messing about. I'm not doing 10 rounds. I'm knocking him clean out.
Give him the call, man.
If you want it, Jake Paul, I'm here. Yeah.
Let's get it on. Fingers crossed, as Dave just alluded to there, a little bit of sense from some commission comes along and says, listen, we're staying clear or something like that. Anyway, we've got a big fight this weekend, which is live on talkSPORT. Make sure you come and join us from 7 o'clock on Saturday night on talkSPORT. Got an undercard and this main event. They're calling it unfinished business. I personally thought the business was finished, but they're back again to do it again as Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn are going at it at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Come and join us then. We'll catch you next time.